I'm Joe Kane. I'm the Executive Director of the Nisqually Land Trust, and this is our Ohop Creek Restoration Project that we're doing in partnership with the Nisqually Indian Tribe, with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, with Pierce County Conservation District, with Pierce County Conservation Futures, and a bunch of other partners. Briefly, 125 years ago, the Ohop Valley was ditched by Scandinavian dairy farmers who drained the valley and raised cows and cattle out here. That business in turn dried up, and over the last 15 years we've been slowly buying up parts of the valley with the goal of returning the creek to its natural meander. It was ditched and turned into, we took 1.8 miles of ditch, and over the last 5 years of construction, with the South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement Group leading the construction, we've reconverted that 1.8 miles of ditch into 2.4 miles of salmon-friendly creek, the original Ohop Creek. And that's what we see out here in the valley. And it goes from left to right. It's draining toward the Nisqually River. The last mile between, this was the old Burwash farm. The last mile between the farm and the river is part of the new Nisqually-Michelle State Park, and that's all natural meander there. So we have a restored creek bed. Ohop Creek is one of the two primary salmon-producing tributaries of the Nisqually. That's why this is so important. And where we're standing here now, this was the Burwash farm here, the Gelstad family, and then the Burwash family. Steve Burwash came out here in the Great Depression as a laborer with his father, fell in love with the farmer's daughter, married into the family, and then we bought the farm from Steve when he was 89 years old. And Steve's still alive. He's a longtime Tacoma fireman. He's retired, well, obviously retired. He's living in Tacoma. And we had a great party out here when we bought the farm, and he said, this is the way to send this farm out. It's just no longer functional for dairy. Time to return it to salmon. The idea of the farmstead, that this was the working farmstead, that's part of the big historic value here. So the Eatonville School District will, the idea is to link the future with the past and tell the story of a rural farm and to bring it back and make it productive again. About 100,000 native plants altogether, and with, hundreds of volunteers, a bunch of organizations, and we had 9 wildlife cameras out here that Northwest Trek and the Nisqually Indian Tribe put up to track wildlife as it's come back to the valley now that it's being restored. And we have the first resident black bear in over 50 years now in the Ohop Valley. We've got a robust elk herd out here. We documented 196 species, including I think over 60 species of birds alone out here. So what we're seeing is a big wildlife cornucopia happening out here. We received funding from a number of sources to rebuild the creek for salmon recovery, and the Eatonville Historical Society came to us and said, boy, because we were required to demolish all these buildings, and they came to us and said, if we can find a way to transfer ownership, find somebody else who would own them, could we do that? And we said, sure, let's work on it. And then the Eatonville School District stepped up and said, we'll take the buildings, we want to convert it into a STEM campus, science, technology, engineering, and math, for our high school. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take this building and this 3 acres here, we carved out 3 acres, and they're going to return it to a farmstead, and they're going to grow food out here for school district students, for the Family Relief Agency in Eatonville. They're going to work with the GRUB program out of Olympia, which has a great pilot program with Olympia High School, especially for at-risk teenage youth to come out and be farmers. And they also have student teachers living out here. So for us, it's a great outcome. The buildings keep standing. We bring kids right out on the land, and that's how you get the next generation of conservation leaders. You get them right out on the land, and that's what Eatonville School District will do here.